The seed in a Monte Carlo simulation initializes the random values used for each input variable in each iteration. The same seed will always produce the same random values. So if you want a different set of random values, you need to change the seed. So let's look at a sample of how this would actually be used. For this example, I'm using a river system, and at the upstream end of this river system, I have this inflow hydrograph. I want to see what type of impact it has on the reservoir. So the value that I'm going to allow to have some uncertainty that I'm going to apply this input distribution to is the maximum release that I can get out of this reservoir. And that's obviously going to affect the maximum pool elevation that I can get. So that's going to be my output variable. So if we look at a seed of 0 and a seed of 1 for our input variable, which is the maximum release that's allowable from the reservoir, we would expect the defined values to be the same regardless of the seed that we have, because that's defined in the distribution that we set. However, when it actually runs through the simulation, we would expect to have different generated values. So you can see that for a seed of 0, our generated values varied from about 189 cubic feet per second to about 9,237 cubic feet per second. When we had a seed of 1, that range was from about 234 cubic feet per second to 9,551 cubic feet per second. We can look at the impact that that has on the output variable, which is the maximum pool elevation. And if we look at the cumulative distribution function, we can see that we do have differences in those values from when we used a seed of 0 or a seed of 1. But we do want to go in and test our assumption that if we use the same seed, that we are going to get the same values. So on the left, you can see the first time I ran a seed of 0, and on the right, you see the second time that I ran a seed of 0. You can see that in both of these cases, we have the same generated value for our input variable, which was the maximum release from the reservoir. And since that distribution was the same, we would expect the distribution to also be the same for our output variable, which was the reservoir elevation. And you can see that both of those numbers are the same. So hopefully this gives you a little bit better understanding of the purpose of a seed in a Monte Carlo simulation. If you found this video to be helpful, I'd appreciate it if you like the video and or subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching this one.